Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. And we are so excited because Lizzie is in the house. We were talking all things TV, Sound Kitten, mommyhood. Oh. My God,
right?
girl, you make it
You've
look
been
good.
busy, and we look like we're matching. We did not coordinate this, but
yes.
It's a white party this morning. You're clashing with us.
Yeah, I was not invited.
It's white and black. It's white and black.
Not invited.
Okay, you've been really busy. I mean, this list goes on and on and on of all the shows, all the everything. I'm like, what in the world are you up to, girl? Serious.
Well, let me just say, I resonate so much with the stuff that James was talking about.
Yeah.
And finding that balance and your passion and everything that you're doing. And, I was a very habitual person and a perfectionist at that. And what I found is that all the things that I'm doing on a daily basis, like with the company and with mom, and then when I was filming the show, I got to a point where I just felt like it was just like too much happening. Just getting like overheated on everything. Mm-hmm. And so what happened in the past year, it's actually been a very transformational year for me. The past 2 years have been because, I kind of had to pull on the brakes a little bit because I'm watching my little boys grow up, but I'm missing so much because I wanted to, have so much control of my company, and it is very challenging to be an entrepreneur because you're in charge of everything. And when it's great, it's great. And when it's bad, it's you, And I want to be at the manufacturing house overseeing the manufacturing. I want to sit with, I work with the pattern makers. I do all the designs, working with the sales reps, talking to the stores. I mean, it's just an overload at times. And then, being a mom. And my role model was my mother, who was 100% a mom. So, I never saw like a working mom around me. So I don't really know how that was juggled. I saw my father was a very successful man. And, but he was, the father, and he went off to work and he worked and he had his businesses. My mom was at home with the kids. And so I fight that inside of me of being, I should be home with the kids. I should be a mom. I should be here all the time. And then I'm like, when I stop, it's not enough. Mm-hmm. Like I have a very entrepreneurial spirit inside of me. And I want to go. I want to create things. I want to build things.
It's such an important conversation because so many women are dealing with that right now. Because past generations were able to just be moms. Now we're expected to be the mom, the wife, the career woman, all of the above. And it's for some of us, it's incredibly hard to balance. Right. And you don't feel like if you pull the brakes, you're going to still move forward.
It's a lot of pressure.
Right. A lot of pressure.
We call it divine discontentment, and there's something like there's a beauty in the discontentment because it's saying like we need to rise up as women. How do we find that balance between being creative and having that desire that we want to create something and give it to the world, and yet that desire to be the best, mom or whatever that is for us. Right. And so, what advice would you give to people?
Well, I think that I need some emotional hijacking.
Just rubs off on you.
So many of the things that have happened in the past couple years, I've had to roll with the punches, and I've had to realize you can't take life that seriously. I have 2 little boys. I mean, there's, we've got a lot of cuts and bruises and crying and fights. There's a lot of punches.
Breaking stuff.
A lot of things don't go as planned, and I've had to relinquish that control and give it up to the universe. And I think there's major big power in prayer, and I talk to God every day, and He is my guiding light on every level. And He tells me it's okay. It's okay to just breathe. And I think most of us moms, if we just need to breathe a little bit, like we got this, we're all doing the best that we can. And, even if we want more, it's good to want more. It's good to want more, but it's okay to mess up. And I think I have lived in this prison of people pleasing and so much fear in my life of messing up and doing the wrong thing. Oh, that's not going to be, looked at well. And the past 2 years of my life have been great transformation for me, and it's been painful. Like I've gone through a lot of ups and downs, and it's just been. I know it's good for me because I'm growing so much as a woman and as a mother and as a person. So
so many people loved you on Real Housewives of Orange County, and I'm wondering, what did you learn about yourself in the process, watching it back and watching your life? What was your takeaway?
Well, I learned that I need thicker skin. But since then, they cast me. I was 33 when they cast me, and I got a phone call from the director, not the director, the creator of the show. And then, before I know it, these cameras are in my home. And so it wasn't something I planned out or thought about being on, but I think it's great. I have great gratitude for the show, and I have, a lot of friends from the show and great experiences. But I did learn that I needed to thicken my skin, and I don't need to worry so much about pleasing everybody else. And you gotta look out for yourself.
Absolutely. When are you happiest?
When I'm with my kids, because it's just not about me. It's about them. And they just have like a total innocence of the world. I'm also like frazzled when I'm with them and stressed out a lot of the times, but I'm happy with them because it's just, their innocence to the world is just it's so pure, so special,
It's funny you say that. When I was sort of a young adult, I remember being full of so much stress and anxiety. I would actually I didn't know why. I would intentionally turn the cartoons on and let them play in the back because it would remind me of what it was like to be a child and to be innocent and to not take anything too seriously. It was very playful. What have you learned from life, from your kids, in addition to sort of taking things a little less seriously?
I've learned that, little eyes are watching. Little eyes are watching. And so I've learned that, and as a mom and as a woman in general, it's kind of difficult sometimes to control our emotions. And when little eyes are watching, how should they see mommy cry? Should they see us when we're at our worst? Maybe not. I'm still trying to understand that, engage that, because I definitely want to raise young men who are in tune with their emotions, because I think that's a big epidemic for men in the world.
I would say from a psychology perspective, absolutely, you want them to see you at your worst when you're crying, when you're upset. You want them to see the entire spectrum of human emotion, and you want them also to see that you're able to work yourself back up that emotional scale.
Right.
My
So I
son's-
love that you do that.
The
Really
comeback.
beautiful.
Totally. My son's 22, and I did not have the consciousness I have now, and so he's seen me kind of go through it all, but also become a woman that I've always wanted to be. And I do think that the time in history, like, how do we as moms learn, because how do we do that? How do we do the dance of entrepreneurship and that? And sometimes we flail around, but at the same time, you're having success and you're questioning yourself, and it's so beautiful to witness. And I don't think we're supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to flail around, but I think it's important to have those conversations so they don't think it's just this perfect thing that they never really learn about till they grow up. So I think it's great what you're doing. I think it's beautiful. I think you should really, really celebrate yourself.
And you make it look
Yeah.
so good, little sun kitten. I mean,
Little sun kitten.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your swimsuit line.
All right, so Sun Kitten I designed when I was pregnant with my first son, Preston, in San Diego. And it was something that I'd always wanted to do. I went to school for fashion design, and my dad had said, you have to get a college degree before you can move out to LA to be an actress.
my dad said the same thing.
And, I really wanted to be an actress. I grew up dancing, and I loved the stage, but, it's a very tough business, and, I wanted to be a mom too, so. I ended up going back to design, and I was, sitting there pregnant going, what can I do? I'm in San Diego, it's not LA anymore. So I started sketching, and then before I knew it, I had an entire collection, and I modeled my first line because I wanted to lose all the baby weight and get there. So, from there, then I had another baby. So then Sun Kitten, although it kept running, it kind of went on the back burner while I had my kids, and then I was cast on The Real Housewives. And then they were really intrigued by Sun Kitten swimwear. So really had a revive, So we revived Sun Kitten and brought it back to all its glory, and it's done great things. I mean, I remember sitting on the couch during the Super Bowl, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my bikini! I have my bikini off the Carl's Jr. commercial. That was just such an awesome moment. And then, doing the Miss USA 2015 and seeing all the contestants compete, and Sun Kitten, I designed them each for the show, and that was amazing feat for me because I competed in Miss USA years ago. So doing that was just a wonderful accomplishment, just personally for me. And the company has really grown, and this past year, like I said, I felt really overwhelmed with everything that was going on. So I kind of put it over to the side a little bit and said, I'm going to focus a little bit more on family and raising my kids, because so much is happening, and I'm missing these milestones with my children. I'm missing so many things, and because when you're a businesswoman, you get caught up and you're in this rat race, and you're like, what happened? You're 6? Like, what? And my oldest just turned 8. I'm like, how did that happen? He was 3 on the show, and
So where can people find your line?
Well, right now, everything on the website, sunkittenswimwear.com, is 50% off because we are revamping and getting ready for a new line, which will be next year, not out this summer. But so you can find us online, and we are also in stores all across the U.S. We have a list of stores on the website and out of the country as well.
Well, I need a new suit
worldwide.
for every year. Like
enough
if you
swimsuits,
have
honestly.
one really good new suit, it's like you're on. So it's
Go
it's
look
good
and see what you
motivation.
like, and
Good
I'll send it to
motivation
you.
for the summer for sure. So.
Well, thank you so much. Stay tuned.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.